Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's Transformers Forged to Fight character spotlight and gameplay video. And today we're going to be having a look at what might possibly be my favorite character in the game at the moment, and that is Windblade. She is such a cool character. If you're familiar with Marvel Contest of Champions, she is very similar to like X-23 Gwenpool. She has a lot of bleed effects that she can do, a bit of interesting utility thrown in as well, and she also transforms into a jet, which is very cool. So anyway, let's talk about some of her abilities then. So let's start off with her signature ability. So this is if you get more than one copy of the champion. Duplicate copy. Basically, it gives her more crit rate the lower your opponent's health is. So as the fight goes on, you're just going to crit more and more, and this has some really great synergies with the bleed effects that she has. So let's go down and talk a little bit more about stuff. So on her critical sword attacks, so sword attacks are basically like any melee attacks. She's a 30% increased crit chance, which is pretty good there. And also on critical sword attacks, there's a 59% chance to bleed the opponent, which will deal 49% of your attack over 4 seconds. So again, a really high crit chance, and also really rewards crits by stacking a bleed. So the bleed not only does quite a bit of damage, but if you get to 4 stacks of it, it will stun the opponent for 2 seconds. And then this can be reset once all the bleeds have expired. By just stacking 4 bleeds again. So you get some really nice kind of like chain on combos where you can just finish your combo, you get a bleed off at the end, and then you go on to do the next one straight away because your opponent is stunned. So that stun becomes really helpful and useful at some points in the fight. And usually, because it's on 4 stacks of bleed, it's usually at the end of the combo because the bleed is a very short duration. And depending, you know, on if you've got your Windblade awakened or not, and the point in the fight, it becomes a lot more common to, you know, get those 4 stacks and actually stun the enemy. So really cool stuff there. And also the ranged attacks on Windblade have a 35% chance. So roughly like 1 in every 3 ranged attacks is going to stun the opponent for 35 seconds. Again, this gives you an excellent opportunity if you're kind of like feeling out the fight, scoping from range, to actually see that the opponent is stunned, and then you can just charge in and start attacking them and get your combo off there. So really valuable piece of stun utility on the ranged attack there. So the next thing she has, it's on a special attack 1. She inflicts shock damage for 40% of her attack over 4 seconds. However, if the opponent activates a power gain buff at any point during this, power failure will activate, so that will neutralize the power gain effect and also instantly deal 90% of your attack as damage, so a lot more than the debuff. So yeah, that's potentially really useful in certain fights and a very interesting synergy to bear in mind. I can't think of any characters that, off the top of my head, that have like an insane power gain at the moment, but I know in Marvel Contest of Champions, a very similar game, you know, like a champion like Deadpool X-Force, this would be amazing for against. So yeah, a bit of an interesting synergy there. So that's off the special attack 1. Off the special attack 2, you can bypass 100% of your opponent's current armor for 4 seconds, so that covers the duration of the attack and then maybe a couple of hits after. Again, your bleed can proc off your special attack, so there's a chance to you know, have the stun chain on the end if you maybe started with a couple of bleed stacks there. So a bit of an interesting synergy. And then finally on the special attack 3, there's a 100% chance to stun for 3 seconds, so guaranteed stun, and you can get off, I think it's like, if you go like a double medium, then a medium, triple light, medium combo, and then another full combo. So if you play it really well there, I think you can get some really decent damage off the special 3. So Windblade definitely is one of my favorite characters at the moment. Very simple in terms of her abilities, but also incredibly effective as well. So I think in terms of what we have to do today, so I think we're right in front of Soundwave. Okay, we are. So we got a bit of a boss battle today. So this is the Alliance mission boss battle on one of the final days. He's really stacked, guys. We are probably going to die to this, but we're going to hopefully show off some pretty kick-ass Windblade gameplay. So he has, the only thing he has from a link node is evade power gain. So when evading a melee attack, he generates 26% of a power bar. So this is going to be really difficult to try and pull off, because Soundwave is it's probably the hardest opponent to fight at the moment. He makes a great Alliance mission boss. So let's go for this with Windblade, guys. Maybe shouldn't have done it for the first try. And also he has a what is it? It's like a ranged projectile reflect, and that is so annoying to deal with. So yeah, let's see if we can deal much damage to this dude. If we can take off 20%, I'll be pretty happy. So again, that's her transform ability. So we got the stun off there, and we got the strike back. We actually accidentally reflected a stun there. Just want to kind of play defensively while he has that strike back up. It's just really, really tough to fight on certain opportunities, but I want to try and get into the special free, because that way we can get the guaranteed stun. It's going to be quite a few hits there. Okay, we got the special 2 out of him there, and we're starting to have this bug again where the fight starts to get a little bit choppy. Again, one of the issues with beta at the moment. Damn, not now, not in the middle of the Soundwave boss fight. So doing quite well. We've already taken off 4,000 off him, but yeah, the fight is really, really choppy. Okay, can we get another medium combo off during this duration? This is so bad. It's so bad. Okay, I feel like we're about to get a little bit wrecked here. Special free on Soundwave, just destroying us there. But, and also a stun, so yeah, I think... Oh, the choppiness is somewhat gone now, but I think we're in that combo where we're pretty much dead. Yeah, it's dropping frames like crazy there. Damn it. I really hope that's fixed when it comes to live. It's such a random bug as well. But we did alright, guys. We did alright. We got quite a few hits off there. We could have definitely done a lot better, though. I feel like we might have had that fight if it wasn't for the choppiness. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and restart the game, and then we'll get on with some quests. So we just reloaded the game. Hopefully this is going to fix the choppy issues. I thought, you know what, Soundwave, he's so close to being dead, guys. We took off about, just over 5,000 there. Really, really decent performance from the 4-star Windblade there. So we got Windblade as a 4-star, but actually 3-star characters are ever so slightly better than 4 stars at the moment, because they can much easily reach like a higher ceiling of power. So we're going to go with a little bit of bludgeon gameplay here. Bludgeon is also very, very cool. Okay, we can't use any ranged attacks now. A lot of my kind of basic combat strategy does involve using ranged attacks. So Soundwave really does throw me off for the most part. Sonic Shield again? Just procs that's... Okay, so every time he hits 1 bar of power, that's when he procs the Sonic Shield. Okay, I've identified that correlation now. So hopefully that's something to learn from in the future. We didn't get stunned there, though, so that was pretty decent for the most... Oh, we did get stunned. We did get stunned. It was just at the end there. Right. If we maybe get to the special free on Bludgeon, if we can... We've got, like, no hits off this fight. It's so bad. Okay, let's use the special free there. Is that going to stun? It might do. It might do. Yes, there we go, guys. Bludgeon putting in work there with his special free. Okay, awesome. Damn, that was such a clunky fight. Such a clunky fight, man. Soundwave, honestly, when you get to fighting him in Alliance mission, you're going to have such a fun time. I'd say he's definitely... one of the hardest opponents in the game, combined with maybe Motormaster. Motormaster makes it really good. He's the final, the final boss of Chapter 3 and Act 2 at the moment, which is one of the hardest things to do. And he's very, very annoying. So anyway, let's queue up for that map. Let's actually fight that dude. So let's get Windblade on the team. Let's get some more bludgeons. So we're going to put the 4-star one in as well. So we have a few to play around with. Another bludgeon, because they have this really, really good synergy, which basically increases like their crit damage for every hit that they don't land a crit. So when they eventually do land a crit, it's a lot more lethal. And I think bludgeons is a little bit more stacked. But yeah, actually, I think it's like 6% every time, or 10% every time they don't do it. It ramps it up a little bit more. It's very, very cool. But since in this video we're going to be focusing on Windblade, let's try and get another bludgeon in there just for the stack synergy. So let's move bludgeon in. So the synergies, again, a little bit different to Marvel Contest of Champions if you're used to that, where it's just kind of a flat stat increase. Synergies and Transformers, they're kind of based off like character relationships and stuff. Really, really cool, actually. I'd like to see a little bit more of that in Marvel Contest of Champions in the future. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm interested to see kind of how those dynamics move on as we go forward with the game. Right, so we're going to start off with a little bit there, the 4-star Windblade gameplay. So most of the opponents here have about 2,500 health. So let's see how quickly we can decimate through them. Hopefully fairly quickly. So we got the bleed off there. Getting close to 4 stacks. Not going to quite get it with that combo, though. Okay, we got the stun there. We proc the stun. You see how incredibly useful that can be occasionally? Because usually it does proc right at the end of your combo, because, you know, it needs a few stacks of bleed already. So it really does build off the tempo, but just allows you to kind of, like, reach on to the next part of the fight. It's really, really cool. Okay, we'll drop down to the 2-star Windblade for this one. Just make a little bit more fun. The crit rate is certainly quite noticeable when the character is awakened, especially at low health percentages. But my 2-star Windblade is one of the only 2 characters at the moment that's fully maxed out. A lot of my 2-star characters are very close to fully maxed out, because I like having them all up there for arena, but not all of them are up there yet. I did the thing where I attacked into the opponent without realizing they had a special bar. Need to be a little bit more careful for that. Okay, and we've gone back to the choppy gameplay. Damn, boys, damn. Just trying to make some sweet Transformer videos here. Right, there we go. Special 2. It's down. It's down. But, it's very annoying. Very, very annoying issue. Okay, let's see if we can do a couple more matches with it. Let me just restart the game again. Right, so we restarted. Hopefully it should be alright for a while now. Hopefully it's gonna, like, see us through to the end of this video. And when did my Windblade lose so much health? Was it the last fight? I don't remember losing that much, but it was a little bit too choppy to see there. Hopefully it's back to running pretty smoothly after that, though. Yes, it already feels great. When this game performs, like, it performs just so well. But again, we're not quite into the official global release, so there still are a few issues to bear with on the beta. But hopefully, like, when it comes out globally, a lot of these performance issues are going to be sorted. Right, we wrecked that dude pretty hard, guys. We played reasonably well there. Let's move on to the next matchup here. So I think we've been ambushed, actually. Who's ambushed us? Okay, so it's a tactician, Sharktacon. Right, these are the equivalent of, like, the symbiotes in Marvel Contest of Champions. They're pretty easy to deal with for the most part. Although this is the final map, so the AI is pretty ridiculous in this one. I'm not too sure if they're going to release, like, another chapter before, well, with the global release, because they need one more chapter in Act 2 to, like, fully finish it off. But I'm not too sure if they're going to have that. And the choppiness has returned. Wonderful. Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to have to call the video there. We'll do another Windblade gameplay showcase someday, but hopefully through some of the fights that we did about like 4 or 5 fights total, plus you got to see quite a lot of the Soundwave encounter. So hopefully we'll do a video soon where we can show off in a little bit more crisp, but for some reason the game just does not want to run smoothly this evening. So disappointed. But yeah, Windblade is a really, really cool character. I think she's definitely in my top 5 at the moment. So yeah, if you get Windblade, guys, as a 3-star or a 4-star, definitely rank her up as soon as possible, because really, really cool character. So ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this gameplay video, feel free to leave a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.